Hello and welcome to the Matrix Fitness live workout. My name's Matt Gleed and today we've got a conditioning workout designed to give you a little bit of core control and a little bit of power as well. So the first thing we're going to do is start to mobilize you. We're then going to take you through our main section of the workout and then we'll take you through a cool down at the end as well. Now every single exercise that we do is going to be for 45 seconds and we'll have 15 seconds in between when I show you the next exercise as well. You just need a little bit of space around you and I've got a mat nearby to make it a little bit more comfortable when we come down to do some of the floor work. First thing we're going to do is just start to open up your arms, just so you can get a little bit of a reach across the body, stretching out through the shoulders and through the chest as well. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little rotation. And as you pivot across the feet, the arms are rotating around about shoulder height, and you're just looking over the shoulder. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to turn into a little bit of a squat as well. So with a little bit of space on the floor, just lower your hips down towards the floor, just so we can start to create a little bit of a deeper range with each repetition. The nice thing about this exercise is we're also going to start to practice some of the movements that we're going to have later on, where we're going to be doing some squats, and also we've got some single leg work as well. Next thing we're going to do is take a step back lunge. So take a large step and lower the back knee down towards the floor. This will allow you to work on your balance and also just make sure that you've got some good control as you move in and out of that deep position as well. And this will start to draw some blood into the muscles so that you're starting to get all the muscles ready for some of the work that we're going to do, but also start to work on that stability as well. Okay, next up, we're going to start to increase your heart rate. So I want you to imagine you've got a skipping rope. I just want you pushing off the floor just so you can start to feel what it's like to get your heart rates up a little bit higher. And we can then start to prepare you for some of the more quicker movements coming up later on as well. Now just take this skip from side to side for me. Now as you're pushing off from side to side, you can start to feel that all of your ankles start to stabilize and all the little intrinsic muscles around the feet are all starting to wake up, ready to help support your body in the exercises we're going to do. Let's take those feet forwards and backwards, so in a little shuffle. So one goes forwards, one goes backwards. Good, excellent. Okay, and just loosen out the body here. Let's take you into a little fighting position here. So bring your hands up to the side of your head. You're going to jab, cross, jab. We're going to switch the feet over, and again, jab, cross, jab. And each time you switch those feet over, you're just rotating 180 degrees. And each time you throw those punches, keep pivoting off the feet as well. This is really important because it will help create a connection from your feet all the way to your fists, where you can really start to focus on moving your whole body in a very connected way as well. Good, excellent. Okay, let's just take you into a little half jumping jack. So the hands are coming up to around about shoulder height. This will help keep the heart rates progressing upwards. Also, really good exercise for just getting your feet to start moving from side to side. And we've got a few exercises where we're going to encourage this movement as well. So this is great just to help build the body up. Okay, let's take you into some knee strikes as well. So we're going to pivot the feet to one side, reach your hands high, and you're going to drive your knee 3 times. Then we're going to pivot the feet to the opposite side. And again, reaching your arms high and drive your knee up. Now, this big range of movement will not only help prepare your body, but also keep your heart rates coming up as well. So a really good way of driving into flexion and extension and getting your whole body ready for the workout we've got coming up. Last ones each side then. So 3 more, 2 more, last one, and just loosen the body up. Right, let's take you through these first exercises. So the first one we're going to do is a side-to-side step jump. So what this one looks like is you're going to step, squat down, and just push off the floor into a bit of a jump, and then the same in the opposite direction. So each time you take that step over to the side, lower the hips down towards the floor, push yourself off the floor, and then try and stay low as you move from one side to the other. The second exercise we're going to have a look at is going to be a press-up thruster. So we do a press-up, and then jump your legs in, and back out, and then repeat. So they're your first 2 exercises, and I'll show you the third one as we get you ready and a bit close to that one as well. First movement starts in 5 seconds. Create a little bit of space just to move to the side, and off we go. So stay low, step, little bit of a squat, then push off the floor and keep that movement going. And what we're looking to do here is to try and keep that deep range of movement, keep you into that low position, and then explosive movement up at the top as well. Now, as you push off the floor, try and create as much range of movement as possible. Good. Coming down to 15 seconds. So just keep low, keep athletic. So this is why we did those squats in the warm-ups. Try and keep yourself low and then push yourself off the floor. Last 3, 2, and relax. Okay, let's take it down to the floor. If you feel like you want to grab a mat to put your hands on, that's absolutely fine. Now, you've got a few options in terms of your press-ups. I'm going to start off doing them on my knees, and then we'll do them on the full press-up on the second round as well. So we start in 3, 2, 1. So press up, then jump your legs in and out, and then reset for that press up. Each time you do the press up, try and think about getting your knees all the way down towards the floor in a safe position, and then with your arms, lower your chest, chin, and hips all the way down towards the floor, and then reset. Now, of course, you've got the option of doing a full press up here straight away if you wanted to, but we aren't going to do all of these exercises twice. So feel free to build your progressions in at a time that suits your body as well. Last 10 seconds of work to go. Keep that deep range of movement going all the way down towards the floor and rest there. Now, the third exercise we're going to do is called a Renegade Row. So what we're going to do on this one is we're going to set you up with your hands underneath your shoulders, and you're going to bring one hand off the floor, place it back down on the floor, and then swap it over to the opposite side. We're just going to literally walk the hands off. Let's get you going straight away. Now, I want you to have minimal shift from side to side. And what that means is you're not rotating your body. I'm trying to get your whole body to stay as a strong plank, holding the position, keeping yourself stable and still. I always find it helps if you look down towards the floor. This is going to create a great stability around the shoulder, which is really important for developing the strength to do exercises like press-ups as well. So think of this one as a conditioning exercise that's going to help improve your ability to do other more powerful movements as well. It's like working on your weaknesses, always important. Last couple of seconds and relax there. Okay, let's bring you back up to a standing position. You've got your 15 seconds recovery before we go for those side step squat jumps again. And then we'll repeat the press up thrusters and then the Renegade Row again. So 3 exercises. Let's repeat them as a second round. Let's get you ready. Athletic starts, over to the side, push yourself off the floor, and then over to the opposite side. And it's just now about moving quickly, using that athletic stance, keeping you low, and then pushing off the floor as you start to work hard as well. So keep doing as much range of movement as you can here. Big, big push off the floor. Good, keep that speed up. This is where you get to get your heart rates high. You're always going to find your heart rate start to drop as you go down towards the floor movement. So let's use the standing movements as we can to get your heart rates high. This will give you an increase in calorie burn and conditioning work as well. Okay, relax there. Let's take it down to the floor. Now I'm going to grab the mat because we are going to stay down on the floor for our second round after these exercises as well. Okay, starting in 5 seconds, we've got those press-up thrusters. So let's get you set in position, and off we go. So full press-up if we can, and then jump your legs in and out. Option is always to do the press-ups on the knees if you want to still. So you pick the intensity that suits you. This way you get that upper body strength in. So really good conditioning exercises in our first round. Then we focus on core on our second round of exercises. And then we've got a little bit more fitness in our third round of exercises today. So again, it's important to keep the chin, chest, and hips all coming down towards the floor, and then be strong as you push yourself out of that deep press-up position. And relax there. Okay, 15 seconds recovery. Just give those arms a little bit of a shake, and we'll take you into the Renegade Row, where we're bringing the hand off and bring it in towards the shoulder as well. We'll start that in 5. Let's get you ready. And off we go. Hand comes in towards the shoulder. Press it back down into the floor. Keep control as you lift the hand Try not to move around too much. This is where the focus is on the stability of the shoulder and keeping your hips level and facing down towards the floor. You're going to start to feel like your heart rate's coming down. Even though you're working hard, the heart's response to how hard you're working is going to be slightly different when you do floor-based exercises, especially when we're looking for a controlled conditioning exercise. After these, we're going to take you onto the floor to do more core-focused exercises. So a little bit of stomach work, oblique work coming up. Let's take you through the first exercise for these. It's called a Vsip, so we're going to lie you down onto the floor. I want you to extend your arms and legs. As you exhale, you reach up. As you inhale, you lower yourself back down. So let's go 45 seconds here. So the shoulder blades come off the floor as you reach up towards your toes, then lower as you bring yourself back down with control, keeping that big range of movement. Slowly, controlled movement all the time. Keep that tempo. A lot of people will throw their arms forwards to create momentum. And it might mean that you can do more repetitions, but the quality or the amount of work that the muscles do when you're doing that doesn't always add up. You want to keep a controlled movement when you're working on the core. So the shoulder blades lift off and you control that lowering phase as well. Okay, relax there. Next movement we're going to do is called a heel drop. So we're going to bring your feet so they've got 90 degrees, so the knees directly above the hips. Now make sure your head is rested on the floor, hands down by your side. You're going to do a heel drop, so lower one heel towards the floor, bring it back in towards you, and let's alternate to the other side. Each time that you alternate the legs, the opposite leg is always going to come back to the knee being above the hip in that controlled way as well. So nice steady movement. Try not to, again, rush this too much. If you would like a progression, you've got two options. One is to use both legs at the same time. So by using both those legs, it makes it harder. Or the other option is to extend the leg further away. So instead of just lowering the heel down, you actually extend the leg as you lower the heel down. So a couple of options to make it harder if you're looking for that. And for those of you which are just looking to gain a basic controlled exercise, stay with me. Now, the third exercise we're going to do is we're going to get you to a seated position. And I want you to sit as tall as you can. You're going to lower yourself back so you feel like your core is engaged. You might even find a little bit of shaking happening here. And then from here, you're going to rotate around from one side, back to the center, and over to the opposite. And this exercise is called a Russian twist. There's lots of exercises which take their names from different countries. So this one being a Russian twist, just about controlled movement, a little bit of a lean back, rotating around from one side over to the other, keeping your feet fairly close together so we don't let the knees start to fall down towards the floor. And I would always encourage you to think about sitting tall, even in between each repetition. Just take a second to check in with your body about whether you're seated tall or whether you're starting to slouch through your spine as well. And you've got the last couple of seconds here, and we'll repeat these exercises again as well. And relax there. So let's get you to lie down back onto the floor, extending the arms and the legs. And again, take this time just for allowing the body to relax. The hips can do quite a bit of work in these core exercises. We'll give them a really good stretch at the end, but take a bit of time in between. And again, as we exhale, we reach up. Inhale as you lower yourself back down. Good. Keep that control. Exhale as you reach up. Inhale as you lower yourself back down, and repeat. Each time we're trying to get the shoulder blades off the floor, reach your hands up high. And although the direction is towards the toes, it's actually about reaching upwards with your chin and chest to make sure that the core is really getting that great workout. Last 5 seconds. And relax there. Okay, next exercise is the heel drop. So we're going to bring one foot up, then the opposite leg. We've got 10 seconds before we start. Now remember the options. It's either heel dropping down towards the floor with a bent leg, extending your leg, or using both legs at the same time. So you pick the intensity that's right for you. And you can always modify and change the exercises as you go through. So if you want to go into 2 legs, that's fine. And then you can always regress back to that single leg just as your stomach muscles start to fatigue. It's much better to do it that way than it is just to totally stop because you're getting tired. So keep that control. Keep that heel lowering down towards the floor, then bring it back up again. Good. Got just over 10 seconds to go. If you haven't and you fancy giving it a little bit more of a challenge, try both heels at the same time. Got just 5 seconds of work to go. So a couple of repetitions there would be great. And relax. Okay, let's bring that into a tall position again. We'll get you ready for those Russian twists. So again, sit straight with your spine. Bring your knees and feet together. Lower yourself back until you find a little bit of work into the core. And then we start to rotate around from side to side. Keeping a nice, steady, controlled position again. Back stays straight, so just check in with your spine. Have you got the spine in a straight and good aligned position? Especially as you come back into the center, great opportunity just to reset the shoulder blades back and down. Be mindful about where that spine position is. Keeping your chest tall again. Now, if you feel like you need a break at any time, just stretch out the hips. Relax them a little bit if you need to. It's all about working with whatever level of ability you feel comfortable to do. We don't want you to strain muscles. We want you to work them with control. And relax there. Okay, let's bring you back up to a standing position. We're going to get rid of the mats because we need to do a little bit more fitness work on this one now. Let's get those mats out of the way and we'll use them back in the cool down. Now, the first exercise we're going to do is a jumping jack to squat pulse. So jump out twice and then squat, pulse. Here we go. Jump out twice, then squat, pulse. So quite a quick movement. We want you to get your heart rates up. We want you to feel that conditioning work. Remember, we did those squats in the first round. So now as we go into that third round, we're going to use that available range of movement that we improved. We're going to start to improve your fitness as we go through these as well. So just keep that speed going. You pick the tempo. If you want to move quicker than me, then that's absolutely fine. But just keep the quality of movement. Keep that low squat. You've got 10 seconds left of these. Then we're going to go through some nice, slow, controlled movement as well. So feel free to try and get your heart rates up high here. They will be coming down just around the corner. Okay, rest there. Now, the next exercise is a very slow conditioning one. We're going to put one foot forward, and all the work is going to be on the leg that is underneath your body. So the foot that's out in front is just there for stability. You're going to lower yourself down for 3 seconds, and then up in 1. So it's a single leg squat, down for 3, up in 1. So just follow my tempo on this one. And if you can, try not to work too slowly at the top of the movement. It's actually at the bottom where you want to keep that range. I often see some people go very slow at the first couple of seconds, and they don't really get much depth in this one. So we want you to get as low down as you can and then extend up with a bit of power, really. So down for 3, 2, 1. Push up strong. Good. Last 5 seconds to go. And 1 more. Good. Relax there. Now we'll do the opposite leg on our second round. So in between this, we're now going to go down to the floor again to do a T press up. So this is our press up. And then we almost go into a side plank position. So if you feel like you're more comfortable on a mat, grab your mat quickly. And what we're going to do here, so full press up or a kneeling press up. And then I want you to come up into a T position where it's like a side plank. And let's repeat this. Alternating from one side to the other. Bring yourself back to the center, reset the knee position, lower yourself back down. Now, your feet will start to just move away from you slightly. And that's absolutely normal. So just readjust the feet each time you need to. Getting that deep range of press up, pausing into that T position. Just over 10 seconds of work to go. Good. Keep the control and relax there. Okay, let's get you ready for those jumping jacks and the squat pulses again. So a little bit of space is needed. Quick movements of 2 jumping jacks, then a squat, a pulse, and reset. We start in 3, 2, 1, off we go. So 2 jumping jacks, squat and pulse, and then explosive movement back out into that big position. Now, to make these jumping jacks higher, bring your hands over your head a little bit more. Then deep squats. So you pick the intensity of the movement that you want to go with. You can work as hard or as easy as you want to then. Great chance to get your heart rates up before we then go into that controlled work and those deep ranges of movement as well. Last 10 seconds. Last ones, and pause there. Okay, let's take those single leg squats. Make sure you're setting yourself up on the opposite leg. So I'll just turn and face the opposite direction to help indicate this. The foot that's in front is the one that's just there for stability. The working leg is the one that's underneath your hips, working hard. Let's lower down for 3, and then up in 1. Down, 2, 3, and up straight. So that foot that's in front is just there for stability. You might start to feel that the back of the hamstring does work a little bit, but it's more about focusing on that standing leg to make it really do the work and then be strong as you push back out of that position. Strong positions, slowly down, quick up. So it's got that tempo down for 3 seconds, pause, and then push up strong. Last 5 seconds to go, so we probably can get in another couple of repetitions, especially if we're working on a steady tempo. And relax there. Okay, shake it out. Last exercise for today then. We're going to get the mats ready because we're going to take you from here into our cool down positions. So the T press up with that side plank. Option of doing the press ups on your knees or full press up, it's up to you. This is your knee option. Each time coming into that side plank or a full press up, let's get moving. Big range of movement each time as well. So you pick the workout that suits you. And again, it's just about focusing on that quality and that deep range of movement. So if you can't find that range of movement all the way down to the floor, take it to the knees. Improve the mobility of your joints, and then you can start to build in that strength to do the full press-ups if you need to. Make sure you keep adjusting your feet if you need to as well, and relax there. So to begin with, we'll take you through a few yoga positions now. Each yoga pose we go into is going to be focused on a type of stretch and moving in and out of these positions as well. We're going to start off stretching through the front of the hips into an up dog position. So we're going to set your hands underneath your shoulders. I'm going to lower my hips and my knees down towards the floor. My eyes look up. I want you to roll the shoulder blades back. I want you to feel the little stretch through the front of your hips. Now, my knees are rested on the floor in this position. I've got my toes tucked under. And what I want you to do now is I want you to push into your hands, lifting the knees off the floor. Send your eyes towards your toes and feel a stretch through the back of the legs. And I just want you to walk through this stretch here. Now, as you start to walk these heels out, you start to feel a stretch for your calves. Let's bring your hips forwards again, but this time the knees are not going to touch the floor. I'm just going to get you to suspend yourself here. Again, roll your shoulder blades back and down, eyes look upwards, and you start to feel that stretch through the front of the hip and the bend in the back as well. And again, push into your hands, send your hips high. And now this time we're going to not walk the feet, but just hold them in position. And I want you to think about lifting your hips high and finding the stretch coming down through the back of the legs as you start to work through the shoulders to get the most out of the stretch as well. Now lift one foot up and swing that foot forwards towards your hand. Once it gets close to the hand, reach the hand up high, push the back heel away and really try and differentiate the stretch here. What I mean by that is try and push your heel away from the rest of the body. Change the position, make it different so you feel more of a stretch. And then the hand that's in the sky, bring that back down inside your foot. Step back to downward facing dog again. And then bring the foot over to the opposite side. And again, reach the hand high. Try and find that different position. So you stretch. Try to make it a working position where you can really reach through the body. And then from here, bring the hand back down inside the foot. Step back to downward facing dog. Now rest the knees onto the floor. Bring your feet together with your knees slightly wider. Just lower your hips down towards your heels and creep your fingertips forwards. Now, as you start to take this position, you start to feel a stretch from the underarms all the way down through the sides of your back. Well done. Then from here, let's slowly bring you back up to a standing position. So transfer the weight back onto your feet, roll up for your spine, and loosen out your body. We're going to take a standing quadricep stretch. So if you want to hold on to something, you can do. We're going to take one foot into the palm of your hand, bring yourself into a tall position. Think about pushing your hip forwards. So you not only feel a stretch through the hip where you've been doing some core work, but down through the thigh where it's been doing the squats. Now slowly release that leg, swap it over to the opposite side. And again, push through the front of the hip so you feel that stretch through the hip, but also down through the thigh as well. Well done. And then slowly release that. Let's wrap your arms around a giant imaginary ball. And this beach ball, if you were to blow into it, it gets wider and bigger, which means that your elbows move slightly further away. And you start to feel this really nice stretch through the upper back. From here, bring the hands behind you, lift your chin and chest tall, and think about getting a stretch across the chest and through the shoulders as well. So you really start to pull the arms away from your lower back. Stretch through in a deep position, and then slowly release it. Thank you very much for joining me for this Matrix Fitness workout. We're back today at midday. So if you'd like to join us again for the workout, maybe you've been looking at the exercises, you want to join us for the next live workout. Failing that, we'll be back at 5 o'clock this evening as well. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.